Right here at 6, the second part of our sit-down interviews with the two men vying for Kentucky's U.S. Senate seat. You heard from Senator Rand Paul yesterday, and tonight we are turning the camera on his Democratic challenger, Charles Booker. Brooke Hash asking the more personal questions about the Booker you may not know.
My name is Charles Booker. I'm former state representative for the 43rd District, which we are in. I am the Democratic nominee for United States Senate, and I'm a lifelong Kentuckian. Resident of West End of Louisville. All my family's from the West End.
He's a husband.
I love basketball. I love to write.
And a father of 3.
People may not know that I love to sing.
Together the world can be ours.
I'm not Jack Harlow, but I can rap too, a little bit. It's more dad raps nowadays.
Charles Booker grew up blocks away from Shawnee Park, was the first in his family to graduate from law school.
My wife and I still have over 6 figures in student debt.
And then became the youngest black state legislator in nearly 90 years when he was elected to the state house. But today, Booker has his eyes set on Washington and what he says will be a historical win.
I don't come from politics. You know, in our community, you folks that are running for office or in elected office, they'll come around when it's election time, but otherwise we're invisible, you know, and we're survivors. I didn't even think that politics was an option until going to law school and seeking out mentors and realizing that while I was on a path to argue the laws, who's making them, you know? And then once the light bulb went off for me that, well, wait a minute, if they're making the laws and they don't see us, how do we change that?
Growing up in one of the poorest areas of the city, he knows the struggles.
You know, being homeless at a time with my mom, and I rationed my insulin as a type 1 diabetic. There were times my mom and I would walk into the pharmacy a couple blocks from here and see the amount come on the screen and have to walk out, you know, because we couldn't afford it. I used to ride my bike right around here, riding the trail, and, you know, come home and the lights would be cut off sometimes.
It was then Booker says he realized his community deserved more.
My granddad said, if your family's being disrespected, you step up. And that's all I'm doing right now.
He's passed on other high-profile races.
Any regrets of not running for Louisville mayor?
None whatsoever.
Realizing the bigger impacts he could make as a U.S. Senator.
My top 3 priorities are very clear.
Protecting the right to vote and the rights of women who become pregnant. And then there's investing in infrastructure.
That is part of how we end poverty.
But no matter who wins on November 8th, Booker says his work is bigger than this race and will forever be about giving a voice to those who felt ignored.
Don't lose hope. We have every reason to want to throw our hands up and be frustrated, but we have power if we stand together. Regardless of whether you agree with me on every policy or not, I'm standing up because I love Kentucky and I'm proud of us as hardworking people, and I hope that message shines through.
In Louisville, Brooke Hash, WHAS 11 on your side.